My story begins with my grandparents. My grandfather, Tupu Petaia, was a teacher, school inspector, and principal. My grandmother, Tupu Petaia, was a nurse at Matotu Hospital. They left Samoa in the late 80s to come to the land of opportunity, the land of flowing milk and honey, the land of Aotearoa, New Zealand. On the 25th of May 1993, the Great One, also known as Tupu, was born to Keneti and Moe Petaia. From a young age, my family knew I was destined for greatness. Rather than leave it to chance and fate, my parents preached and disciplined me at a young age that in this country, to have a good, stable future, I would need an education, because education is the key to success. The first step was kindergarten. My mother and I walked to kindergarten every day. I have fond memories of walking with her through the rough streets of Mangere. To gain an academic advantage, my mother enrolled me in the Hippie program, a Great Potentials initiative. It was here I was a step ahead of my peers in reading, writing and maths. Fast forward to 2011. I was in my last year of high school. I went to the greatest institution in the world, De La Salle College. It was here I discovered my passions in weightlifting, American football and learning. Initially, I wasn't allowed to join the mates program, but I knew I needed the benefits of tutoring and mentoring. These benefits will help me through the next phase of my academic career, which was university. In the summer of 2012, I began my journey at the University of Auckland. I received the Chancellor's Award for top Pacific Island and Māori scholars to study a conjoint degree in commerce and science, majoring in accounting, chemistry and psychology. Earlier this year, I graduated with my Bachelor of Commerce and Accounting, and I'm currently finishing my Stage 3 Chem papers. As a person who has benefited from the initiatives provided by the Great Potentials Foundation, I felt the need to give back. Currently, I am a mentor at 3 schools. I really enjoy connecting with my mentees and teaching them. It's really inspiring to see the joy on the face of a student when they finally grasp a concept or get something right. But I think the most important part is mentoring. It's cliche, but life is a journey, and it's always good to have someone who has slaved and struggled along this journey to help guide the way. Just like the way my mentor showed me, now I show my mentees.
Have you ever woken up, no bread on the table, no milk in the fridge, no food in the cupboards? Talo falava. O lo ingoa o Jireh Seiuli. Sa o whanau I Samoa. My reality was one that could only be improved through blood, sweat and tears and sacrifice. Future, was that even a possibility? New Zealand was always the land of milk and honey. A land where they said dreams were going to be made and where fortune was abundant. I was torn like the clothes that protected me, torn like the paper that once said I belonged to Samoa, torn like the relationship between my parents. How do I escape this? Education was always the answer. Constant battles with the system, day in and day out. There was always a struggle. I needed to learn, starting from the basics. Learn I have to, learn I had to, learn I needed to. Fast forward, I could say I was somewhat educated. I had finally beaten the system after years of trials and tribulations. But still, to my biggest critics, it was not good enough. It was always good job, but try again. I now drag my feet with my head down. What do I do? Now it's time to dream big. University was my salvation, but how do I get there? I searched for the answers to my questions. It was always, you can't get there, but then I heard about mates. See, university was always the destination, but as to how I get there, that was always the question that was looming. Help was always provided for me. It was always, you got this. I'm there for you. I will always help you. that was just the extra push I needed. Through mates, I had a good support system. My feet weren't cut underneath me. I was always motivated. They always said you could do it. I am able to give a student the same chance I was given back in high school. I always wanted to give back. Through mates, giving them that voice again, they're saying, I am there for you.
It was my first time at city campus in Open University, and I needed to see the other Samoans around the Pacific Islanders. So I went to a meeting that day where people were promoting WASA. WASA is basically the student association for Samoan students at Open University. I went in there looking for study groups, support groups, and that's where I met Tupu.
So earlier this year, we had a meet and greet for WASA, and there I met Jireh, and Jireh quickly stood out because he showed leadership potential and offered to become one of our pastoral care committee members. And then after the meeting, I got to know Jireh a bit more, and we instantly became friends.
Seeing how it was my first year at city campus, I was trying to get used to the papers that they offered. I needed help mostly with chemistry because I couldn't really grasp the knowledge. And I heard that one of our own WASA members, who was Tupu, I heard that he was majoring in chemistry, so I actually went and asked him for help. He gave me an insight of how to understand the different formulas, the different compounds, and what they actually stood for.
One day, Jireh approached me to help him with chemistry. And so we set up study groups, and I helped mentor him and tutor him for chemistry. And then we got to know a little bit more about each other. And then we found out we've got a lot in common.
Being Samoan wasn't the only thing we had in common. We grew up with similar backgrounds. We went to low decile schools, and we pretty much faced similar adversities throughout our high school life.
Throughout the course of the year, I got to know Jireh better, and I found out we had a lot in common. We were both ducks of our high school. We both received CAT scholarships to attend the University of Auckland, and we both loved the gym.
Apart from academic success, we had a lot of other things in common. One of them is that throughout high school, we were both mates, mentees, and now we're mates, mentors.
There is a Samoan proverb, "O le ala i le pule, o le tautua."
O le ala i le pule, o le tautua. The way to authority is through service. In Samoan culture, service is the way we operate and live our lives. Success is obtained by serving others, and by doing so, you are also serving yourself.
As mates mentors, we feel it's necessary to serve our mentees through mentoring and tutoring. Ia manatua, o le ala i le pule, o le tautua.
The way to authority is through service.